God. I mean, I did this drift for like 7 minutes straight, basically. Uh-oh, it's not running. Owning a Corolla is not really about how cool the car is. It's way more about the excitement of the car. Up until like 10 years ago, no one even cared about 86 Corollas. It was kind of sad. Like, they're such a fun car to drive, but people didn't care about them because they don't come with a lot of power. Parts were already starting to get a little bit expensive. It's a Corolla. And again, I'm not hating, I'm just like giving reasons why other people would not like them. And they're hard to drive. And let's face it, most people that drift today don't want a hard car to drive. Like, whether it's because they want to post photos on Instagram to look cool, whether they want to be relaxed at the track and not worry about every little thing and just have an easy car to drive, whether they want all of their friends to have the same car that's easy to drive. These are not that easy to drive, but they are extremely exciting to drive. This car is the beater Corolla, and this is a car that about a year and a half ago, I was searching Facebook Marketplace, almost 2 years now probably, and I found this car, and it was a shell with the motor out of it and kind of like a basket case project. It was in Texas, and my buddy Robert Turnbow lives out there, and I was like, Robert, can you go look at this car and make sure it's not a piece of crap? And if it isn't, like, buy it and I'll give you the money. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And he's a super Corolla nerd, super Toyota nerd, like all through and through. And I'm not at all. I just love driving the cars and they're fun. So we bought this car, and it's more of what a Corolla should be to me. It's a car that is mechanically really well put together, well sorted, ready to go, in a shell that's a beater. Like, you're not worried about driving it hard. You're not worried about beating the crap out of it. You're not worried about bouncing it off things. You shouldn't, but if it happens, you're not end of the world. Obviously, you maybe seen the other video I have of a nice Corolla. Super fun to drive, but again, like, if I hit something or mess it up, I'm gonna be really upset because I'm gonna wanna keep it really nice. Where this is very low effort, simple maintenance, keep going to the track and driving it. So we built this car to be that, and I'll show you a little bit about it. So my buddy Robert Turnbow, he put this car back together for me. It was in bad shape, but to be fair, it's in the exact same exterior shape as it was when we got it. I haven't even washed it. So they basically, it sat on the side of a shop for a couple of years. The kid had a 20 valve swap in it and couldn't figure it out. Something was going on. But I have not washed this car or done anything besides clean the windows because I drove it from Texas back here to Florida. Longchamps, 14s, proper offset, a little bit of spacer on the front for clearance. Those are getting to be really, really hard to find. And these cars, for the fun, are the most fun on 14-inch tires because they're like 40 bucks a tire and they last all day. So the cost of driving is really, really low. Obviously, you see the sick, perfectly executed Panda paint job on this thing. They were trying to be Takumi. They probably had a few too many Coors Lights or something and decided they wanted to paint this. It is not good. But what's crazy is, even though the car looks really rough, it has zero rust anywhere on it, not even the slightest bit of surface rust. So them painting on top of this and doing whatever has really kept it well, and underneath looks perfect. So it's always been probably a Southern car. Someone got happy with the quarter panels here and covered it with some over fenders, which was my plan to do, was to just cut this out, make it nice again. At some point it had a twin cam. I've left all the stickers on it from when I bought it. Have not done anything, like I said. So it had a twin cam motor, 20 valve in it. Again, everything fits, is nice, and outside of the quarters is pretty good. It's a slick top, so there's no sunroof, which is really cool. A lot of people put sunroofs aftermarket into these. This side looks exactly the same. It's a little nicer, quarter panel's not as bad. It's got this unrolled deal going on here. It's got some mud flaps on it that are sick for my road and the rain drifting that we do. Not that I'm trying to keep anything off of the side of this thing. This is a cool mod here, just aluminum tape right over it. Good job, really doing it there. Drove Club Loose with it, which is in Texas. Just like I said, it's kind of a simple, basic car that is meant to just be driven and have fun with. It came with this little keychain. It's missing the front wheel. Okay, so inside, very, very basic. It has one leather, one cloth GTS seat. These are getting very hard to find, so you just get what you can get at this point. A clean pair of GTS seats is like 1,500 bucks. It's insane. As I said, it was red before, but it has a lot of the things it needs. Like, it's got an Arty on it. I put a spacer on it. It's got the digital cluster that doesn't work whatsoever, but when it does work, it's really cool. It lights up like an 80s video game. The dash cover, because it's all cracked underneath, but it's a fitted one, so it's half decent. Taped up handbrake, the carpet's in there, and dude, most of the interior plastics are still in this car. Like, they're all here. Like, all of the stuff is still there, which is crazy, because that's getting impossible to find. And then the rear seats are some other seats. I don't even know what they are. They're blue. They might be out of an SR5 or something. I don't know much about it. And it's got really, really good mirrors. They work really good. They're made of plastic. You can't see anything out of them. It's really, really bad. The HVAC system works, the heat works, all that stuff. So it's actually like fairly complete inside, which again, is getting pretty hard to find. Like, this is kind of like a nice car hidden in a bad quarter panel. I'll show you guys the motor. The deal with this was to have the best mechanical abilities. So the motor was out of the car when we got it. My buddy Robert painted the engine bay, so obviously it's dirty now, but it's all gloss white, the original color for a white Corolla, not a red one. He went through over the entire motor, new water pump, timing belt, basically everything inside of the motor that could be done, or on the outside of the motor without physically taking the head off, was done. The engine's an AE92 engine, which has a little bit more power. It's out of the Corolla, the front wheel drive Corolla. Front wheel drive one, like I think it's FX16 and AE92 cars, had the better motor. I guess it makes a little bit more power. It has a little bit bump and compression. I don't know, probably makes 110, 115 wheel. It's got a header on it. I don't know what brand it is. And then Robert had a nice exhaust laying around that's like some aftermarket one, but it sounds really, really good. It's not super loud, it's quiet, has good tone, it's not raspy, so it's quality exhaust for sure. It's an over the axle one. It's got this like weird 90s loop around intake thing. I don't know what's going on there. But an E-fan setup, like the aftermarket one, like it's just simple. It's just, the maintenance has been done, like before we put the motor in, make the engine bay really nice, painted. Anything that needed to be replaced new was replaced new. I put NGK wires on it and plugs. And then basically, I've just been beating the crap out of it ever since, and it just loves it. It doesn't care at all. Okay, so we're at the compound. Thanks, Adam. I know everyone's like, oh, he said there wouldn't be a lot of drifting there. There's a lot of drifting here. The neighbors have gotten used to it at this point, I guess. But anyways, Cody was coming out here to shoot some stuff with the new BC barriers that got delivered last week and a half ago, right before the Invitational. So he's gonna come out and drive. He wanted to get some shots with the barriers, the Dadley driver Mustang. And I figured I'd bring the Corolla out, shred it some more, and show you guys what it's about. I've driven it quite a few times here, only in the rain, not in the dry. So we'll see how it does here with 100 horsepower in the dry. I don't know, I feel like about 80. 80's probably about right. I can always let air out. 70.
70?
78. It says 44 is the max on the tires. I figure we gotta at least double that. 91.
Cody, what are you thinking? How much?
A reasonable 35 PSI. Not trying to go to the moon today.
First impressions?
It's good. With 100 pounds of tire pressure, it works really good. It's not loose by any means, but it's just perfect with that much tire pressure on this concrete. This layout's actually really fun too, with the long sweeper that cuts back.
Yeah, it looks like a blast, dude.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm gonna adjust my front dampening a little bit. It's too soft. It's a little bumpy out there. Yeah, this is fun with the little V here. It works so good with 100 pounds, and I normally drive it with like 40, but I was like, I'm gonna air it up a bunch so that way I'm not like working it so much. And
pretty
it works
loose.
good, and the tires make no noise. They don't even squeal at that tire pressure.
It's because there's hardly any tire touching the ground.
Oh, it's all there. It's all there. all you need.
Dude, you're wheeling it.
It's so fun. Honestly, like it's got enough power. It's got enough pretty much everything. It's stock angle, or maybe it has tie rod spacers, I'm not sure. But it doesn't need more because you can't use anymore because you don't have enough power. And you just keep momentum and you just swing it everywhere and clutch kick it to keep it on the pipe, and it's just fun. Cody's gonna go drive, see how he does. Because you're cutting yourself off on the inside. Okay. So you got to go a little faster into the turn and handbrake just a little bit later. Yeah! Going for it. I love it. Yeah! He made it!
That was smooth, bro.
That was sick.
Was super smooth.
That was really good.
Uh-oh. It's not running.
Oh no! My ride home! Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe the MAF just came unplugged. That'd be great if that was it. Oh yeah! The greatest! Shnikes!
Tire check.
I gotta rotate right to left, left to right. I gotta do more right-hand turns.
God.
I mean, I did this drift for like 7 minutes straight, basically. I'm gonna zip tie the MAF so it doesn't fall off, and then we'll finish these off, and then I'll drive home on cords or whatever.